Good morning, students. Today, I am going to deliver the lecture 2 of the Environmental Engineering subject code C701. The discussion topic is factors affecting demand, I mean to say water demand, design period, population forecasting, which is in your module 1 of your syllabus. So, let me start the factors affecting demand. In continuation of my previous class, the water demand we have discussed. We have discussed the fluctuations of demand, and now we are going to highlight what are the factors on which the per capita demand depends. So let me discuss the factors. Number one is the size of the city. Per capita demand of a big city, generally it is seen that the large it is self-explanatory compared to the smaller towns, because the large city mostly having the sewer houses, sewer system are there. So definitely for the sewer houses, it is expected that the usage of water will be more. So definitely the water demands high in case of the large city populated, large city area. Then again, if you see the presence of industry, we all know that in the industry processing, water is must. So the water demand goes high. In consequences, with the situation of the industry situated in the area, then the climatic conditions. In the previous lecture, we have already discussed the topic climatic portion, that is the fluctuations demand. That is summer, the usage of water is more in respect of drinking, in respect of bathing, in respect of water planting. So we have seen in our earlier lectures. So definitely we have seen the climatic conditions. That's why the season fluctuations is there for demand of the water. Then habits of people and their economic status. Somebody economical class people, I am telling, have a status to maintain the bathtub. So definitely water usage will be more. So somebody has a fashion for decorating purpose, for keeping the fountains in their house. So completely it depends on the lifestyle and the economic status of the capita, that means the person also. And water depends on the habits of the people and the economic status as well. Now, quality of water. If water is aesthetically and medically safe, definitely the consumption will increase. As per experience, we know we generally will not resort to private wells, as it is a salted water in taste. Generally, we don't drink much water of the tubewell water, that is the well water, underground water. But definitely surface water is tasty water, so definitely aesthetically and medically safe also. So we can have a tendency for higher consumption. So it is seen that quality of water also increases the consumption pattern of the water, usage pattern of the water, as it is aesthetically and medically found safe. Then the pressure in the distribution system. In the tall story building, it perhaps seen that the lower story, those who are habitants staying in the lower story, they are influenced by the high pressure water in the bathroom compared to the higher story staying people where the water pressure head is low. So what happens? If the water pressure head low, definitely when you take bath under shower, the consumption of the water will be much more. And if the water pressure rise in the down story, then definitely at the time, I'm just putting one example, at the time of bath under the shower, the water consumption will be comparatively less than the others where the water pressure is low. For that, extra pump has to be installed for increasing the pressure. So the pressure of the water will also affect the consumption pattern and distribution system. Efficiency of water works, administration, efficiency, construction failure, leakage in valve, leakage in bend, that means the pipe fixtures, fittings, leakage in pipes, in the water pipe main lines leakage, in the water pipe service line leakage, all these type of leakage due to inefficiency of workmanship in the plumbing work results in the wastage of water. And again, like previous lecture already I have mentioned, I reiterate the same thing. For the unauthorized use of water can be kept a minimum by surveys. So these type of things also affect the demand of water. That is, the water demand is affected by this factor. Now, cost of water. If there is a water meter, definitely the consumption pattern will go low. That means the actual pattern, if the metering system is there, that means if it is cost associated, so the per capita demand definitely will be controlled. Otherwise, it will go on high if there is no water meterage system. That means if cost is not inculcated, cost is not imposed on water systems, if cost meter is not there, definitely people will not take it serious and the usage of water will be more. Some places already the water meter is installed and some places are not, the process is going on. Policy of metering and charging method. Water tax is charged in two different ways. On the basis of the lump sum basis, that is the certain fixed monthly rate, and on the basis of the water meter fixed in the premises. Now, what is design period? Design period means the future period, the forecasting period, whatever we say, the period for which a provision is made. Provision means the design of the water supply scheme or water works. The design of the water work is made for the period, that period is called the design period. That means it is generally kept between 20 to 30 years design period, considered as 20 to 30 years. And extension and expansion in the water works over the existing network pipeline is not easy. And while designing and constructing these works, they should have been sufficient capacity to meet the further demand of the town for number of projecting years, say 20 or 30 years, which we are usually considering as a design period. Basically, it is not, as I have already discussed in my earlier lecture also, it is not technically feasible. Vis-a-vis, it is not financially viable also, as well altering the system of the existing pipe network. So that's why let us assume that whichever the piping network we are designing today, it will last for 20 to 30 years, another, unless and until it hits the population and some other material effects on the piping. So new design system can be thought again after 20 to 30 years. So design is basically for a certain period, 20 to 30 years, which is called the design period. And it is estimated based on the following. How the 20 or 30 years is fixed as a design period? Basically, it is based on some useful life component of the materials due to its wearing and tearing, expandability of aspect, situation demands for expansion of the pipelines. In that case, you have to expand the pipeline system, and that is also based on the growth of population. Suppose after 30 years, population growth will be some figure X or Y. So up to 20 to 30 years, that existing design system will be taken care considering the projected population. But after 30 years, when the population again, it has to be redesigned and to be reconstructed, reinstalled, recommissioned. These totally projects again for another 20 to 30 years. It has to be thought separately as the expansion of the project due to the demands of the system, including industrial, commercial developments and migration, immigration, whatever it is. And also the available resources will also account for. Not only that, the performance of any system cannot be perpetually run. performance of the system for a particular period is valid, so that period is also taken care in this design period. After that, the redesign can be done. Now, in the lecture 1, we discussed the topic the per capita demand. That means the water requirement per head. That means per person. So definitely we have to know, or we have to compute, we have to estimate as far as the accuracy is concerned, the population in the projected area, which is called the population forecasting, because our total demand of water can be calculated based on the total population of the city, of the town, on which area I am going to find out the total water requirement. So what that population forecasting, that means the projected population, some estimating for future population. There are some procedures we are maintaining, mathematical computations are being done, mathematical methods are done. That particular method to be adapted again for a case basis, I mean to say for a particular case, for a particular city, which also depends largely on the factors, various factors. So selection of the methods, that means mathematical methods, which I am going to deliver right now for computation of the projected, that is the forecasting population, that also depends as per the discretion and intelligence of the designer in which area, in which condition it will be applicable for. Number 1 method for population forecasting, I am highlighting the arithmetic increase method. I will describe very soon. Second method, I will highlight the geometric increase method. Third method, I will highlight the incremental increase method. All these methods are the mathematical model. And fourth method, that is the graphical method, I will describe about the logistic curve method, but not this in this lecture. In the next, that is the third lecture, logistic curve method, I will describe. So in this lecture 2, mainly I will describe the population forecasting in 3 methods. That is the arithmetic increase method, geometric increase method, and the incremental increase method. Let us discuss first the arithmetical increase method. What is this method? This method is based on the assumption that the rate of change of population with time is constant. Say last 5 years, last 10 years, it is seen from census for that particular area of the old city that the rate of change of population with time is constant. This is an assumption. It is applicable then where? Definitely, if I consider the rate of change of population is constant, so we have to ensure that it should be a large and old city, not a developing and new city. So where already the population is dense and the city is set up with the old design considerations, so there is no further scope of rate of change of increase. So let us consider the rate of change of population is same in the large and old city. And if we mention that the large and old city, the objective question may come, MCQ question may come, the most appropriate method is the arithmetic increase method. The most appropriate method is the arithmetic increase method. If it is used for small, average, and comparatively new cities, it will give lower population estimate than actual value. So definitely in the new and developing city, will not go for the arithmetic increase method. So arithmetic increase method will be applicable only for the large and old city. If this type of question in objective come, you have to answer in a this way. So answer is arithmetic increase method, applicable location is the large and old city. In this method, average increase in population per decade is calculated from the past census reports. Suppose 1951, 1961, 1971, 10 years interval, that means 1 decade interval, the census gives you the population. And based on last 5 or 10 census, from the census reports the population, you have to find out what are the rate of increase per decade, decade to decade. Then you have to compute the average rate of increase per decade, because the average rate of increase per decade is constant. It is assumed, it is an assumption in arithmetic method, and it will help us to compute the forecasting population for the next census, next 10 years, 20 years, or 30 years, considering this average incremental method. So let us assume dPdt, that is the rate of increase, is C. Rate of change of population with time, that is dP and dt. P means population, so rate of change of population means dP. When I am saying with respect to time, so dP is dP divided by dt, and it is constant with, that means dPdt equal to C. So what will be the formula? How can you calculate the population after n decade? P suffix n, that is the population after n decade, will be equal to P, which is the present population, plus n times C. Very, very simple and very simplified formula. So Pn equal to P plus Nc. So P suffix n stands for the population after n decade, equal to P is the present population, plus n times C means n is the number of decade, and C means the constant increase in decade, that is the constant rate of increase of the population. Now, this is the formula for calculating the forecast future projected population by the method of arithmetic increase method. Now let us discuss the geometric increase method. This is the second method I am discussing. In this method, percentage increase in population from decade to decade is assumed constant. What is the difference between then the arithmetic increase method and geometric increase method? In arithmetic increase method, our consumption was average increase in population from decade to decade was constant. That was the assumption. But in this geometrical increase method, some changes has been done. Instead of average increase, we are stressing the part percentage increase in population, percentage increase in population, percentage increase in population. Thrice I am saying you, for keeping you your memory, please. For keeping in your memory, please. This is the percentage increase in population. Again, I am telling, these are very fundamental to what I am describing. The difference between the arithmetic increase method and the geometric increase method is that in arithmetic increase method, average increase in population decade to decade assumed constant, and geometric increase method, the percentage increase in population from decade to decade is constant. So earlier method we have considered arithmetic increase, and in this method, geometric increase method, we have considered geometric increase. That's why the name is geometric increase. So geometric mean increase is used to find out the future increment in population. Arithmetic increase method, just the arithmetical sum we have used. Average increment, we have considered the arithmetical sum, sigma x divided by L. But here the geometric mean increases is used to find out the future increment in population. Since the method gives the higher values and hence should be applied for a new industrial town at the beginning of the development for only few decades. So for old city, old and big city, our preference will be the arithmetic increase method. But for the new cities, new growing cities, that is the industrial town, just beginning of development just started, and it is the new industrial town, then obviously the geometric increase method will be most appropriate for computation of the forecasting of population. So the mathematical methods for forecasting of population we are using, it will be decided based upon the type of city, type of the town we are going to calculate the population. Again, I am repeating, for old city, we will consider the arithmetic increase method, and for new city, just development began, we will use for the geometric increase method. Now, what is the computation formula? Pn equal to P into 1 plus Ig divided by n, 100 whole to the power n. What does it mean? The Pn means P suffix n will be the population after n decade. P is the present population, n is the number of decade, and IG is the geometric mean in percentage. Geometric increase rate in percentage. Fine. Now, in my lecture 2, the third method, this is the last method I will discuss, incremental increase method, because logistic method I have considered in my lecture 3, that is the next lecture when I will deliver. So this is the third method of mathematical method of computation of the forecasting of population, that is the incremental increase method. First of all, I have to see which method is suitable in which type of location. So I must tell you the incremental increase method is suitable in which area. Incremental increase method is suitable for an average size town under normal condition where the growth rate is found to be in increased order. That means if we see the statistical trend from the census figure, census report, last trend will give us, if last trend giving us such a phenomena, such a report, that decade to decade increases with increasing order. That means increase of the population is increasing with increased order. So what does it indicate? Definitely the incremental increase it should follow. Suppose last 5 decades, last 50 years means last 5 decades I have seen for that particular town, it has increased in increased order. So if it is found that the growth rate is found to be in increasing order, that means increase of the population is increasing order if it is found, then definitely we have to choose the incremental increase method. Now increase in increment is considered as calculating for future population. So again I am repeating the arithmetic increase method, we have considered simply the arithmetic average. In geometric increase method, we have considered the percentage increase of the decade to decade. In incremental increase method, we have to consider the increase in increment in that is increment over the increase of the population. The incremental increase is determined for each decade from the past population, and the average value is added to the present population along with the average rate of increase. That means while computing the next decade population, in this formulation the two average will consider what is the average increase, and second is the incremental increase. So what is that? The formula is Pn equal to P plus Nx plus N into N plus 1 by 2 into Y. The same thing I am telling, P suffix N means the population after N decade, P means the present population, N means the number of decade. Only difference compared to the other two methods, these methods specially highlighting the consideration of the two increase rate. One is the average increase X, another is the incremental increase Y. So in the same formula we are using the average increase X and the incremental increase Y. That is the speciality of this formula compared to the others two, that is the arithmetic and the geometry. So again I am repeating the formula Pn equal to P plus Nx plus N into N plus 1 by 2 into Y. X is the average increase, Y is the incremental increase. If we describe a single problem with the three methods, how we'll get the answers? That means how we'll get the value of the forecasting population with these three methods. Let us see. Then we have a idea what value I am getting for a particular city applying those three methods. So I have to calculate the forecasting population after the years 2022 with the census report of 6 decades from 1942 to 1992. 1942, 52, 62, 78, 72, 80, 82, 92. So 6 years record, last 6 years, 60 years, that is 6 decade report we have from the census report, and with the statistical population report, I have to calculate the forecasting population, means the projected population in 2022 years. That means the last 1992, suppose if I stand over this area, year. So present year, if we consider the 1992, Then if we are going to calculate the population in 2020, 2022, so 2022 minus 1992, that means the 30 years. That means that after 3 decades, we are going to find out the population. That means here N specifically is 3. Because we are going to calculate after 30 years the population, the forecasting population. 30 years means 3 decades, so N is 3. Now, this type of problem you have to solve in a tabular manner. In table, you can see all the methods and difference, and at a glance you can tabulate your data, which will be convenient for solution of this problem. And this type of problem basically is solved in a tabular manner. So suppose you have to create a 5-column and sufficient raise as per the number of years concerned, and write down here population, increment per decade, percentage increase per decade, increment increase per decade. Because there are 3 methods. The same problem I am going to solve with the 3 methods. And in exam also some problem, and definitely the problem will come in the semester, and that will be asked you either by 2 methods, arithmetic geometric, or geometry increase, or arithmetic increase, or by 3 methods also. So you have to have a ready concept solving the same problem with the 3 methods. So let us see how we'll solve the problem given in the lecture 2 with the 3 different methods simultaneously. Suppose this population year-wise, I just copied paste from the questions in tabular manner. Then I am making a column increment per decade, which will be applicable for the arithmetic increase method. And next column I will make percentage increase per decade, which will be applicable for the geometric increase method. And the last column I have shown incremental increase, which will be applicable for the incremental increase method. So if we talk for the, let us solve the problem first with the arithmetic increase method, number 1 method. That means we are going to calculate the incremental per decade. So 72,000 to 85,000 means 1942 to 1952. The increment per decade is 13,000, as because 85,000 minus 72,000 is 13,000. So kindly note the mid portion I have written, that is in between 72,000 and 85,000. You have to generate a row in the table for making a provision incremental per decade. So increment per decade, it is preferable to write between the 2 decades figure population. That means just follow how I have written. It is written between 72,000 and 85,000, 13,000 I have written. Similarly, if we go on, if you see 85,000 and 1,10,500, the difference coming in 25,500. So it is written in between 85,000 and 1,10,500. What is indicate? It indicates from 1952 to 1962, increment of population per decade is 25,500. It means that. Then, if we go on further decade, 1962 downward table, 1962 to 1972, the increment per decade is 1,44,000 minus 1,10,500. That means 33,500. And go on. So this practice, I hope you have understood. Otherwise, you may ask me questions for further clarification. Simple subtraction. Simple subtraction between 2 populations or 2 decades, and the subtracted figure you have to insert in between 2 populations, as I mentioned in my table. Second, I am going to the percentage increase per decade. What is the percentage increase per decade? Suppose 72,000 is the initial population. Percentage is always calculated on the initial. Now 85,000 minus 72,000. So 75, how much increase between 72,000 to 85,000? This is 13,000. So what is the percentage increase per decade? Because percentage always I have told you the calculated with the base. That is the base figure is 72,000. So when I'm going to calculate the percentage increase per decade between 72,000 to 85,000, it should be 13,000 divided by 72,000 into 100. That means it will be 18.06. Again, 85,000 to 1 lakh 10,000. That means from 1952 to 1962. From 1952 decade to 1962 decade. From 1952 year to 1962 year. If we talk for the percentage increase per decade, that means the increment first you have to calculate 25,500 divided by the base figure, that is the 85,000, into 100, that is the 30. So in this way, we have to work out the percentage increase per decade. Last column, which will follow the last method, that is the incremental increase method. Increment increase, that means what is the increment of the increase of the population. Suppose in 1942 to 1952 increased population was 13,000. But if we see the next decade, that is the 1952 to 1962, the increase was 25,000 to 25,500. That means what is the increase of the increment of the what is the increment of the increase per decade? Increase of the increment per decade is 25,500 minus 13,000, that is the 12,500, and that has to be written between these two figure, between these two increment per decade figure. So always remember, increment increase method, the increment rate of increase is to be written between the increment per decade of 2 decades, of 2 years. Again, if we go for 1952 to 1962, initial figure was population 1952 85,000, and 1962 1,10,500. That means population increased to 25,500. Likewise, if we go for 1962 to 1972, you can see from the table that the population increase is 33,500. Now coming to the point of increment of the increase. That means what was the increment of the increase of the population? That will demand the subtraction between the 33,500 minus 25,500. That is 8,000, and that has to be written between these two increment figures. So this way we have to go on. So 12,500, 8,000, 6,500, and last one is minus 3,000. Why minus 3,000? Because increment of population from 72 to 82 was 40,000, and increment of population from 80 to 92 was 37,000. Although in 2 decades increment definitely was there, which we have observed, but if you see, the preceding decade have much more increment population and succeeding decade have lower increment population, so net minus figure come, because 37,000 minus 40,000 is minus 3,000. Because increment is negative, means rate of increase, increment of increase is less. That means there is a decreasing in the increment rate. In that word I can say. So in the column indicating the incremental per decade, we can see simply average 6 incremental. So sigma divided by 6, it will give us, sigma is 1,49,000, and divided by 6 will give us 29,800. If we go for percentage increase per decade, then the total figure will give 126.27, and the average figure will give, divided by 6 is 25.254. If we go for incremental increase method, instead of 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it is 4, because it is calculated as an incremental of increase. So definitely one row is decreased. So ultimately it will give 4 number figures I will get. And arithmetic sum, that means plus 12,500 plus 8,000 plus 6,500 minus 3,000 divided by 4 will give the average increment of increase figure. that will help us to calculate the forecasting population. Now we are going to calculate the forecasted population, that is the projected population of in 2022 years. Let us consider the arithmetic increase method. What it says? Arithmetic increase method says that Pn equal to P plus Ni, that you have seen earlier. So where P is, I have already told, again reiterating the same thing, P is the present population. In this question, P is 2,21,000. Why 2,21,000? Because 1992, you can consider the present population 2,29,000, because our forecasting population will be calculated from 1992. Perhaps you have noticed when you are going to calculate the 2022 figure, from the 1992 30 years I have taken. So present population, let us consider P equal to 2,21,000. N is 3, because after 30 years we are going to calculate the what is the population. And what is I? I is average increment per decade is 29,800. 29,800. So what will be the population in 2022? The population in 2022 equal to population in 1992, that is 2,21,000 plus Ni. N means 3 and I means 29,800, which is the average increment per decade. Very simple. So ultimately it will give 3,10,400. So by this arithmetic increase method, we are getting the projected population in 2022 is 3,10,400. Then incremental increase method. Before the incremental increase method, although I have written before, let me describe the geometric increase method first, as followed in the second column. What is the formula? The Pn equal to P into 1 plus I by 100 whole to the power n. What is P? Again the same. Configuration is the same. P is the present population, that is the 2,21,000. What is I? I is the geometric increase, that is the percentage rate increase, average percentage increase, which I have calculated in the, let us see, in the table 25.254. That figure, that is 126.27 divided by 5. So it is giving that 25.254. So I is 2.25.254 divided by 100 whole to the power n. N means 3 decade. So we will get the figure 434,277. What does it indicate? In the arithmetic increase method, we have got the figure. 3,10,400, and in geometric increase method, we have got the figure 4,34,277. That's why I'm telling, for the new developed city, just going up the city, you have to prefer the geometric, because if you go for arithmetic, you will get the less value of the population, and your computation of the water demand will be less, will be erroneous, will not be perfectly for the consideration in the design. Water amount intended to be calculated will be the less amount. So you have to judiciously consider the methods which you will follow according to the type of the town and the city, whether it is a growing, old, new, these things. Incremental increase method, as we have seen that Pn equal to P plus Ni plus N into N plus 1 divided by 2 into C. I and C are the two average we have considered. One is the average increase per decade, another is the average incremental increase per decade. So same configuration, P you put 2,21,000 plus 3i. That means what is N? N is number of decade, that is 3. What is I? I is 29,800. That is the average increase per decade. Plus 3 into 3 plus 1 divided by 2 into what is C? Increment of increase. Average incremental increase is, last column we have calculated 6,000. Again see how we have calculated. We have calculated incremental increase, 4 figures, add on, arithmetic add, divided by 4, because 4 numbers figure, you will get the average. 24,000 is the summation, divided by 4, you will get the 6,000 average. So considering C 6,000 and I 29,800, you will get 346,430. I think there is some mistake in decimal. Let us correct this thing. 346,430. So this will be the answer for this incremental increase method. 1 0, you have to delete. So ultimately, what we have seen that the arithmetic increase method is giving the lowest figure, that is the 3,10,400, and incremental increase method is, it gives in between the arithmetic and the geometric, it gives the figure. Okay, so uh, in logistic, the fourth method of the forecasting population will definitely discuss in the next lecture, that is the lecture 3. That computation is completely separate thing based on some formulation that we will describe later on. So in gist which we have discussed today, the factors which are affecting the demand of water. That factors, as a civil engineer you must know, because for designing the system you have to consider all these factors for finding out the peak demand of the water. Then we know the earlier lecture per capita demand we understood, but unless and until capita, that is the number of person, number of capital, number of population you are going to is calculated, say, then you can't arrive at the final figure of the water demand, because per capita into per capita is the water demand. For that you have to judiciously calculate the future population after 20 and 30 years. That is the generally the design period 20 to 30 years is considered in the water system works. So you have to calculate the projected population and you have to multiply the per capita demand to get the water requirement. That is the fundamental objective why you are going to calculate the population. The one answer is, for finding out the water total water demand, we need to have to calculate the population. And why population forecasting? Because the water system, water works network, pipe network system is designed for certain design area. Time to time replacing of the existing system cannot be technically possible, as I have mentioned, and cannot be financially viable also. But after the design period, again we have to redesign and reconstruction the same thing, considering the new population of that system. So when we are designing the waterworks system, as a designer, as a civil engineer designer of the piping system, you have to have a knowledge about 30 years what will be the maximum population, then only the exist system go run smoothly. So it all depends on the population. So gas population forecasting is very important, and mathematically we have seen three methods, four methods are there, but in today's lecture we have highlighted the three methods. One is arithmetic, second is geometric, and third is incremental increase. In arithmetic increase method, we have seen decade to decade, simply the incremental decade, incremental figure of decade, and simply if just you make the average of these things. And in geometry increase method, we have seen the percentage increase from decade to decade. Just I have weighted the percentage to highlight the geometric increase, and then you average, it will give the geometric average rate of geometric increase of the decade to decade. And what is the incremental increase? Increment of the increase. What is the increment of the increase of the previous decades? That has to be taken care. But one special thing we have observed in the incremental increase method in formula, that while calculating in PM, we have observed the two things, two averages. One is the average increment, another is the incremental increase method. And the same problem we have solved in three methods. We have found the minimum figure of the population is obtained in arithmetic increase method, and maximum figure we have obtained in geometric increase method. Now where these three methods will be applied, where I will apply the arithmetic, where we will apply the geometric, where we will apply the incremental increase, let it be very clear from your mind, because question very often it will come in semester, it will come in competitive service, it will come in any academic exam, which area, which case is the appropriate for which forecasting method, is very common question coming in MCQ. Not only MCQ, as a judgment of civil engineering judgment, you have to know the locality where you can use this formula. So as we have seen, repeatedly told you, again I am repeating the same thing just to keeping in your mind forever, that for large and old city we'll be using the arithmetic mean method for uh, for the higher values, and for the industrial town, what for the new industrial town where just beginning or development started, for rising town or industrial town or rise just the beginning development begins, there I will use the geometrical increase method. And for incremental increase method, the most applicable case is where the growth rate is found to be in increasing order. This will give us this will be based on the previous statistics. If we found that the increase rate of the decade to decade have been in increasing rate, not in decreasing rate, in increasing rate, trend is increasing rate, increasing happened, then without goes without any saying, the incremental increase method you have to follow for computation of the forecasting of the population. So this is a thing we'll solve in tutorial, other problems also, but basic general idea I've given you, and showing one a typical problem, how this problem can be solved in different areas. So that I have highlighted. Again, we will be meeting in the lecture 3, where I will discuss the last method of the forecasting of population, that is the logistic method, and the problem associated with the logistic method. If you have a problem, if you have a queries, go through my lectures. We'll again meet for our discussion interaction one-to-one classes in our live class, where it will be discussed in details and the assignment will be given in due course. First, I am giving you the time to go through these lectures, then we'll appear for the MCQ question assignments and ask me if you have any queries. We'll have a discussion in the live classes. So thank you very much. Have a great day. Thank you.